There we go. All right. So now we are live once again for another Paradigm Shift Radio After Party Hangout. So say hello to the internets, everyone on Paradigm Shift Radio.
Hello,
Woo-hoo!
Internet.
Salete internet.
Okay, so
Howdy,
technical
y'all.
glitch-wise, something happened on my end, and everyone in the Hangout can hear me, but I can't hear them. So I won't be fully engaged with this conversation, but totally those of you who have been here before, I'm just passing it over towards you guys so that you guys can help facilitate this and be it continued on the conversation of what the episode was about, was female perspectives on spirituality. I mean, this can really just be about anything in general. So I'm going to mute myself and I'll try tuning in from the YouTube broadcast end of things, but just I'll pass the talking stick over to whoever would like to take it. So you guys got this right now, and I'm going to step away for a second. So continue.
Well, I feel absolutely a whole bunch of pressure being the only female here. So maybe if you guys were listening, were you guys listening to the show?
Yes.
I was
I know you were, Andy. You were quite vocal in the live chat. I remember that.
listening the entire time.
So were you guys, did you want to say something about anything that you heard? Did you want to elaborate on any information that you may not have had previously to listening to that?
Go ahead, Joe.
No pressure. Everyone talk now.
Come on.
Well, I actually wrote like a quote in Latin that you might try to elaborate on.
All right, what does that say?
Austin's coming back. Just giving you a heads up. I'm listening to you guys through
It's
YouTube, but I'm like a minute behind.
it's
And I'm sorry for
Latin.
interrupting, but there's no way for me of knowing if I was interrupting. So there you go.
It's actually Pate Conserveras, Verans,
Jocelyn's back, by the way. She's
Mater,
on lunch.
Mater Nutrient.
Here she is.
Okay, I was asking for more for the explanation of what it was rather than having
That's
you tell me
That's
what it
actually what the quote is. That means, for those of you who don't know what a female perspective on spirituality, what it basically means, a guy or a man conserves or protects, a woman nurtures.
Hmm.
Yes. Were you not listening to the broadcast earlier, bro?
Yup, I was.
No, you were talking a lot, so maybe you missed a big chunk of it, but that's sort of the vibe I'm getting here. You're very you wanted to say your thing, but didn't really want to listen to what was going on. Getting that sense a little bit.
Well, a lot of people think that way. I was actually listening.
I tuned in like halfway through the broadcast.
What?
It was sweet.
Was there
I tuned
anything
in about-
that Mark, was that you just talking that you had tuned in halfway?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you
Mhm,
wanted
solid
to
going on.
share? Like anything that you learned maybe from that you may not have known before or may not have thought of?
I don't know. It was kind of all like at the end of it where it was just kind of like all just I don't know. I didn't learn nothing really. I don't know what to say to that. But I like.
Are you saying that you were already aware of the things that we were talking about, or it was already sort of understood?
I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't listening that well, and I was just kind of like yeah, I want to go back and listen to it again, or like from start to finish. But
I want to do that as well because I was paying attention to some of the live chat conversations and I wasn't really hearing when other people were talking, so I know that there's stuff that I missed for sure, and I also like left to get a drink a couple of times, so I know there's chunks of stuff. I'd like to listen to it like front to back basically and see if there's other things that I missed, but it was very in the moment, so you just say what you're thinking when you're thinking it and it just goes out. And sometimes you're not really retaining what you've said. So I think it would be really valuable for me personally to go listen to it again. But I'm more interested in hearing what you guys thought of what you did hear because I was on this side of it. I was totally involved with the conversations. So as listeners, what maybe have you learned or that you had confirmed for you listening to the show? And go.
Oh,
Moo.
sorry, my camera is terrible.
I
But
was
I agree almost 100% completely with the majority of the conversation that was presented before me earlier on, within the entire episode. And whoever would like to chime in next, feel free to. Sorry that my camera is so awful. Again, this is Jimmy Jackson from Oklahoma, so go ahead.
It's very quiet.
I know.
At all.
Well, from my end, it's almost nothing new because I heard this a lot from many different people. So therefore, it's like, yeah.
So was this radio show boring for you, Andy?
Well, somewhat. It's because I keep hearing it a lot from many different communities, like my Buddhist community, from Paradigm Shift, from Teal Swan, from a lot of different places. So pretty much like this is a common thing.
Okay, so that's
I've seen
one
a lot.
perspective, it being something that you have experienced a lot of. Personally, I can say that this has been quite eye-opening for me because I haven't had a lot of community to talk to about these sorts of things. So I did learn quite a bit of things myself, and I've been around for a while, so I feel like I'm just kind of getting back into this, just learning new things. You're always learning new things. I'm pretty much never bored. Even if it's something I've heard before, there's usually a new spin on it because I can keep my mind open to seeing how other people perceive things.
Let me see that. Is my mic on?
So you guys don't have to talk about the radio show. We can just talk about whatever. If you're clearly nobody wants to talk about this, it's all very quiet.
Well, to be honest with you guys, like when it comes to spirituality and feminism, like it just doesn't always make sense. Out with some movements like the feminist movement, they came out just to support like female rights when actually that was inherently part of our human culture. Like it doesn't always make any sense.
Andy, where do you live?
Austin.
Oh. Alrighty. How old are you?
I'm actually 21.
Okay. Some of the things you say sometimes seem very. I don't want to say this in a mean way, but they seem sort of ignorant. And you laugh at weird intervals. You're an odd human. You really are.
A lot of people tell me that.
Yeah, I can imagine. So do you guys have anything that you want to talk about? Any kind of spirituality things that might have been popping up maybe in your life and things that kind of resonated with you just recently? The full moon that we had on Tuesday, there was some pretty awesome stuff going on during that. Do you have any stories, anything neato that happened?
Hello?
Hello?
Not I know.
My mic on?
Yes, it is. We can hear you helloing.
Okay. I don't know.
All right. This is quite riveting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm unmuting.
Hey, Jocelyn.
Hi.
Well,
How is everybody doing tonight?
great.
Sweaty.
I'm just not tired at all.
Yeah. So, pretty interesting that nobody here really listened or found the. So, Andy, you said that you didn't think that it was. So you basically are saying that this is like something that's echoing throughout ethos or whatever, right?
It's actually echoes throughout history already. Something that I've already seen, like in histories of like China. I grew up in a lot of different countries, so therefore like these stuff aren't new to me.
Right. So, in China, what is the woman's role there?
It's actually pretty cool. Like the way how women are treated over there, they're really suppressed to the point where most of the time if you've been in China, most of the time guys are the ones who make the decision in the family, while the women are the ones who just nurture the children. And if you happen to like disobey your husband, they might kill you. No joke.
So
That's
how
back in the old days.
So, but in Western terms, this is like something that's completely new. Where, like, obviously, that's like suppressing women to the point of like where they can't even like do something without like getting their life terminated. So how is that I don't understand how that's relevant to like the Western way, where it's like actually women can do anything they want without having.
Well, it actually has more to do with the U.S. way, because the thing is although in the outside we look like as though we're not suppressing them, but in the inside we're actually promoting something on top of femininity by actually displaying our masculine culture, by showing competitiveness. That is how we are suppressing female or women in our culture. And this is just the same thing as you like suppressing women in any culture. Like in China, we use violence. That's all that is. It's just different means.
As a person who does not live in the United States, I can tell you with on fairly good authority that nobody in the world thinks that American women are not being oppressed. They are not being suppressed. Their femininity is happening. Like, that is definitely a thing that's happening. So there's nowhere that I have seen personally where it's, I mean, there's a lot of, the feminist movement was pretty big, like we're slowly making strides into accepting that, us as females, as women, are acceptable and equal human beings. It's still a humongous struggle. So for you to say that you don't think that you're portrayed as suppressing women, you are.
I do not.
Well, that's basically what I'm trying to tell you.
No, okay, well you didn't say it in a way that communicated that clearly. But you said it doesn't seem like the United States is suppressing and oppressing women, but from outside of the United States,
everything.
I know, that's the thing. I live in Canada.
Yeah, I know
in
that.
London, and I'm seeing all sorts of information coming out of the
I
United
live
States.
in the heart of the United States. It's just
So y'all know.
I guess I'm right below you, man. Right
Where's
on.
the heart?
Like literally, I live in Oklahoma, so.
Oh, right.
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Where in Oklahoma?
Lawton, Fort Sill.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I live next to the largest artillery base in the contiguous United States. So pretty much everything artillery-wise developed for the United States military, army, armed forces, whatever, it's developed right here in this town.
Oh my god.
Yeah, basically.
Sounds
But
crazy.
I shall return shortly. Remember, I am Jimmy Don Jackson Jr. I am named after my father. I have some dogs to attend to, but feel free to continue your conversation. Sorry that my camera is so terrible.
Yeah,
It's
don't
a
worry about the
shitty
camera.
Android phone that I bought at Walmart for like $30. So, all right. Anyways, I'll be back.
That's okay.
Okay. And I'm back.
Well, considering that seems to be some confusion on the radio show and what it was about, it was not about
Hello?
directly about feminism. It was about how the feminine perceives spirituality and how us as women and females have experienced our spirituality and sharing that with you, because it's essentially been a lot of guys talking about how they have come to spirituality. And while I super applaud that, that is wicked awesome, it's not often that we as females get a voice to speak about how we perceive it. And there's a lot of male-oriented spiritual literature and experiences out there that we can kind of look at, but finding a group of women that can talk to each other and share like women experiences is a rare thing. So I think listening to our radio show and what we were talking about tonight is probably like the best way that you could probably learn about women who have spiritual experiences and try to relate to us. So I definitely encourage you guys to go and re-listen to that radio show. I am definitely going to listen to it again because I know I missed some things, but I said that before. But yeah, like, it's super important for us to have women to speak to, and for you guys to understand where, like, our perspective, like where we're coming from, because as Andy was saying about suppressing women, like, we are very suppressed, we're very oppressed, we're not really encouraged to speak out very often. It's only in forums like this where we have a lot of very open-minded people that we are encouraged to talk about these sorts of things.
Right. Well, to be honest with you, if you guys are actually happen to live in the Buddhist culture, you're also very lucky.
I met a female Buddhist last week. She was really awesome.
Did you know that the Buddhists in Tibetan Buddhism, which is actually the religion I follow, they actually revere women too,
I did not know that, but now I do. Thank you.
And the good news is that we're actually a mystery school too in Tibet.
Can you explain what that means?
A mystery school, that means, like, if anyone ever heard of the mysteries before then, like, I'm talking about like the Golden Dawn, Freemasonry, those stuff, they tend to be very masculine oriented, but Tibetan Buddhism is a little bit different. We're very, what you call feminine oriented, where it's all about creativity. It's all about learning to experience things the way it is.
That's
interesting.
It's very interesting. It gives me like a just enough information that I'm still kind of in the dark and I want to learn more.
Well, if you want to know about it, look up Dzogchen, because I'm a practitioner.
I have returned.
Type it up.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead, Andy, or whoever's talking.
EZOGCHEN. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm definitely gonna check that out. That looks like something.
Well, we weren't just talking about like the feminine side of things. We were talking also about the feminine side in men, because we're all yin and yang. We are not all just male or just female. We all have all of these chemicals that. The only thing that differentiates male and female is the dominance of chemicals. But we all have chemicals going on. It's just we have a dominance in one side. So we were just talking about how to integrate the two, basically.
Sorry, I didn't realize that I was unmuted there. But yes.
Well, actually, the fact is that you can actually learn how to be or act like a male or a female depending on where you are raised to, Like, for example, because I grew, for example, I study like Latin literature or even Greek literature. I found out that women, although they might look like they might like look like male, or they think like one, but they actually like think like male more, and especially like the Spartan culture, Roman Empire culture, where they are also very masculine. Yeah.
Sorry, I had my earbuds out. What were you saying?
That I mean, for me, what's hard for me about even like listening to all this right now is like the duality that we're looking at, and I just see it as so much less of a duality that it's hard for me to be like, oh, male or female, or I don't know. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like it's
There you
less of a
go.
duality, and it's hard for me to sit here
True.
and say females are this way and males are this way.
True, because it is. It's like it's a synergy. But, you know, we were just talking about when you isolate the two, what it brings to the table, you know, basically. Like what the feminine energy brings, like enhances, or just like masculine energy enhances certain things. But not saying that anyone is just one energy. It's just talking about that selective, like what in different mysticisms and in different like religions and just in personal like viewpoints, what like the feminine energy holds for people and what it can like yield, I guess the
Who's
wording wise.
talking right now?
Jocelyn?
Okay. I'm paying attention. Hold on. Allow me to mute myself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it seems to me like everyone on the call, like, what is kind of not what I feel is that there's like a little bit of dissonance going on. Like, me and Shia that were on the call, we're kind of like on this one residence, and everybody that was like here is like looking for something different in the call. So that's what I feel like intuitively. So I kind of feel a bit like I'm like skating on kind of, or like I'm riding waves or something. I don't know. Does everybody feel that?
Ice.
Maybe not.
No.
I just kind of.
Yeah, just kind of chimed in.
There you phone.
I'm still checking. I feel smooth now.
Ugh. My phone is defeating this entire conversation. Ugh. Somebody talk.
Hello?
Oh, so y'all can hear me then.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. I thought I was stuck in a stasis. Otherwise, I would have been speaking. My apologies. Can you at least see me, or what's going on?
I can't exactly see you. But I
Yeah,
can
that's my phone's fault. There's plenty of light in this room. My phone is just terrible at capturing it, apparently. Well, somebody talk about something. Who wants to talk about dreams? Let's talk about dreams.
Have you ever tried giving your phone compliments and noticing if it works any better?
I have given it swears, compliments. It's just my phone. Again, my phone's an Android, and it has an iPhone screen protector on it. So, yeah, my phone's just a phone. It's whatever. Phone, cooperate. But again, it's the camera. It's like if I was to switch it, over to the backside camera, you could probably actually see my face. But we'll see. But again, it's not wanting to cooperate. I'm even switching. Oh, hold on. It almost worked.
Yeah, Alex.
I'm gonna go to sleep, but if I can't sleep, maybe I'll be back. I see you, yeah. I can see you. Yep.
Okay, so for those of you who actually likes to talk about dreams, one of the few things that I would personally like from my experience is that dreams are basically a projection of your consciousness. So if anyone wants to try to bounce off that idea and see what happens, and see if they can get any discussions coming out.
You're saying that anything that happens in a dream is just kind of like a reflection of what's going on right now?
A reflection
in your
it's
mind?
more than just actually a reflection of like your. It's almost like it's the reflection of your deepest side of your consciousness. I'm talking about like some of the suppressed desires, some of the things that makes you, but not expressed or undescribed.
Yeah.
Like for example, like I guess I shouldn't be telling you guys this. If you guys want to know about this, is that last night I had a nightmare where I had these group of I had a little kiddo that I actually take care of, and somehow in that middle of the daycare where I work with the little kids, somehow I saw my mom was sitting right where something like right where I was taking care of the kids, and I saw her, but she was just sitting there looking at me and saying, "Okay, why is I told you not to take care of the kids because this is not the job for you."
Why the females ran away, just so y'all know.
I argued back against her.
I did that on purpose.
And in my dream, somehow she literally slapped me and beat me up in that dream, to the point where I had to actually start
human
like trying to defend myself. And then whenever she couldn't do it, she started picking on my kids. She started beating up my kids also, and I had to be the one who jump in and defend her and defend my kids. And that's when I woke up from the nightmare, terrified.
Well, anybody else have anything else they would wish to share?
What my dream is, but how is it a projection of what's going on in your awakening life?
I don't know. Tell me
the day
what getting eaten by a fucking T-Rex has to do
I got beaten up by my mother.
with a projection of your reality.
Oh. It's missed. I don't even know what to say to that. It's just a lot of intensity. Sounds cool. Sounds like a weird, awesome kind of dream to have. Like a lot.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
But at least if you guys want to elaborate on that, that would be fine. Because to be honest with you, I just wish that skull is like, hey dude, are you ready to go fun with the live chat? I was like, dude, it seems like everyone's about to go out already, man. Because me, I also have homework to do. That's why I was chatting while I'm studying here with my world literature and my Latin class.
I don't have a lot of people to talk to about this kind of stuff, spirituality or anything like that yet. Or like I'm moving towards like just like opening up and finding community. So I'm just stoked to kind of be in on this at all. So,
you're from Canada?
It seems like our participation is dwindling or leaving or whatnot.
Well, to be honest with you, I personally understand that something like this happens, but it's okay. That's why we're here to actually learn, because one of the basic things that I really like about this group is that we actually get to support one another and get to learn about, so we've learned that lucid dreaming is this, and we know that the feminine aspect of this particular aspect of ours is supposed to what it is this, but then how do you apply it in such a way that will help others? That is something that I feel like we can actually get into discussions about and like create like a learning experience out of.
Hello?
Which a lot of times we don't. I don't know if Skull actually does that a lot.
Hey.
I don't know.
But anyway, I had to actually get to work right now. I had to go and study my world history and everything for my class tomorrow.
Where the fuck did everybody go?
Okay. See you, Andy. Good.
Hello? 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 Oh my fucking god. Is anybody there?
Yeah, I'm here. I think
Dude,
everyone.
how long did I disappear?
It's like 10 minutes, maybe? Or like 5?
Where the fuck? Where did everybody go?
I don't know. They just started leaving one by one.
Did I scare them off or what?
I think the lack of stimulating conversation.
Well, I mean, I've been sitting here talking. It's just my phone has been lagging out, and you know, I have been attempting to provide stimulating conversation, but apparently nobody has heard anything that I have had to say, which is sadly, you know, it's very disappointing to me.
Of course. Last thing I heard you say was let's talk about dreams.
Oh, that makes sense. That means I got disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good minute ago.
Yeah.
Well, what's up, dude?
Nothing. I'm just scrolling Facebook.
Hey, that's my best friend's name, by the way. Your name's Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, my best friend Mark, he actually got shot in the face.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, he survived, though. He survived.
Well,
it's a very interesting situation, but he survived.
Thanks.
Yeah, he lost his left eye, though.
Yeah.
So he's living with one eye. So he's actually a 6'5" Puerto Rican German. That's his race. He's half Puerto Rican and half German.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. But again, I witnessed that entire event in front of my face in this very room that I'm standing in. So.
Nice.
Yeah. So what's up with these?
What's up with what?
I said, what's up with you? With you, Mark.
Nothing, I guess. Just sitting here.
Well, just say whatever's on your mind, dude. There's no reason to be shy. And hello, Leah, or Leia, or whatever you would like to call yourself, ma'am.
That's Lee.
Hey, just have some faith. People will join back once they actually realize there's some conversation going on, unless they are absolutely ignorant.
Yeah. Well, people got things to do and stuff.
You didn't just spy on us. Well, again, it's whatever.
Yeah. Everyone left. Yeah.
Well, that's all right. It only takes two people to have a conversation. Hell, it only takes one if you're crazy enough. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't do that. Some people do. I've witnessed it though.
Yeah. You can get places somewhere. Just talking to the wall.
Well, yeah, it's called meditation. You close your eyes and you have a conversation with yourself and whatever's awaiting you on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want to know about the dream I had last night?
Sure.
All right. So I don't know, I was in some alternate dimension, but the entire planet was covered with water, but there were platforms everywhere. And I don't know, it's like some Legend of Zelda stuff.
Yep.
But like I was walking along this path, and I went through this one dungeon, and I eventually encountered a shield. And when I picked up this shield was speaking to me. And throughout this entire adventure, this shield was like my absolute ally. But by the time I reached the end of the adventure, the shield, like, it floated from my hand, floated about 20 feet away from me, and was telling me, I am the Dragon Knight, and you have completely changed the future. And it disappeared in a flash of light. And then the next thing I know, I was going to the Temple of the Dragon Knight, and, that's when I woke up. So I'm not sure what's going on. Wow.
Sorry about
Oh,
that.
where'd you go, dude? I was like, shit, I'm left alone. I'm just going to have to sit here. Did you hear what I said, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, and also after that, though, like I had another dream, after I was entering the Temple of the Dragon Knight. Like I was having a dream that I was riding a motorcycle with my dad, who's been dead for about 7 years. Him and my grandpa both died the same day from lung cancer.
Ouch.
My dad passed away December 22nd, 2007 at 4:20 p.m. My grandpa passed an hour before that. But I mean, he was riding a motorcycle into oncoming traffic. So I was like, no, Dad, you need to stop. So I grabbed the motorcycle, put it on my back, and started carrying it away from him. And like I carried it toward this restaurant. But like, I don't know, that's the last dream I had. But when I sat down at the table, I realized that my father still loved me, though, even though I stole his motorcycle and carried it on my back. Like, I don't know, it was a very weird dream. So what's up with you, dude?
I'm starting work tomorrow at a cooking job tomorrow, and going for like a walk or something in the forest with a friend, or maybe in the forest. Not too sure where we're gonna go to, but and yeah, I don't know, living pretty good. Yeah.
Where do you live at?
Canada, in Alberta.
Over near Brendan.
No, he lives like on Ontario. So
Yeah.
I live in the west.
Yeah, like I said, I live in Lawton, Fort Sill, Oklahoma, near the tallest mountain range in Oklahoma. So, yeah. I don't know. I'll be right back, though. See, get some words out of our stalkers. For real.
Trying to spell simultaneously. Because I know that... Oh, there it is. Because I know that we exist on every dimension or simultaneously. And there are parallel universes that you exist on. Like, there's many, many, many platforms kind of thing where there's another Mark out there, or there's another Leah, or Jimmy, or Brendan that have taken a different life path, but they're still, in the consciousness or whatever. So that's kind of sweet, I think, because you've kind of got like a friend in yourself, or like an ally through your higher self. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. We can maybe. Who knows? I always want to go backwards, but that's kind of like just like a state or like a way of thinking I have where I just want to like do a different thing. But it's kind
What's
of
going on?
I'm talking about multi-dimensions or
Go ahead.
anything,
Talk about listening.
anything that you.
Enlighten the universe, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much information. I'm trying to.
Talk about what you're talking about.
Yeah. I kind of ran into the end of it. Yeah.
Well, what else would you like to speak about, Mark?
I don't know. How shitty we live as a society and treat each other.
I agree 100% completely. I live in the U.S. But again, hey, guess what the top corporation in Oklahoma is, though?
I think, isn't it like something to do with food? Or is that?
It's called Love's. That's the number one corporation in Oklahoma. It's called Love's.
And what is
that's
that?
the best part about Oklahoma. It's a gas station / gift store chain named Love's. It also serves food.
Nice.
Yep. That's what I like about Oklahoma is that our number one corporation is called Love's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty lovely.
Again. Yeah, I mean, again, of course, you have to realize just what's going on with the rest of the entire world. What most people are focusing upon at this current moment in time are themselves or their immediate community or even their immediate state / province / country. It extends far beyond even the continents, bro. It extends, it involves our entire planet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a matter of realization,
Yeah.
It's much more than just ourselves. I mean, it is ourselves, but it's not. It's a matter of, taking the time to improve yourself while also improving others. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, as soon as you improve yourself, you do improve others. Hey,
welcome back.
Hey.
Hello.
I told you somebody else would join.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good because I was about to go off and grab something to eat.
Was someone talking when I came in? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead. Just go ahead. You have very valuable insight.
Indeed.
Are you talking to me or to whoever was talking when I came in?
I was talking to you, Shy.
Oh, alrighty. I actually just went to move some furniture and do something creative. I had a lot of energy running around in my body.
Yeah. All I know is that, I DC'd for like 20 minutes and I came back and everybody was gone. That's all I know.
So what was the discussion about? What were you guys all talking about? Like in the last couple of minutes?
Go ahead, Mark.
Well, it kind of fell pretty quiet. We were kind of talking about dreams. Andy was,
We were talking about the world as a whole, and
yeah, me and Jimmy were talking about how
everybody needs to realize just beyond their own personal state or their own town, their own
yeah,
county or province / state or country, we need to realize that this is all just, one planet in and of itself. Something around those lines. I don't remember exactly what we were saying, but that's a decent summarization.
Well, that's cool. That's actually something that I've realized personally just in the last few weeks. I had been saying that I wanted to work on my chakras, and all the books and the literature tells you start at the bottom and work your way up. And I sort of started at the top and worked my way down, so going the opposite direction. I never really followed the rules, so I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. And one of the things that is one of the things that's been really popping out at me is to this message of be love and love everyone. And I said this in a couple of different conversations over the past couple of weeks, but that's what I've been trying to do. Just looking at random people, looking at the smelly people on the bus, looking at the people with no teeth, looking at the people in a wheelchair, looking at the people who have physical differences from me, and being like, I love this person. I don't even know this person, but this person is me. This is another me. This is another me experiencing life in a different body, in a different place.
Stop being a fucking troll.
Anyway, so I'm loving all of these different people, and the free hugs thing is just huge. I've been doing it for a couple of years up north, and then I moved down here to London, and I get people coming into the store where I work.
Doing this for years, you motherfucker.
What? Are you, Jimmy? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm responding to the chat, Andy. I've known Andy ever since, back in the day, back in 2012, whenever I was first doing these videos with school and helping him host, so he could actually maintain something without lag.
I don't see Andy here at all.
I know he's talking in the Google Hangout chat if you're paying attention.
There's only one person talking there that I can see. I just see Lee or Leah.
Well, he must be private messaging me then.
Oh, well, aren't you special? But going back to this free hugs thing, I have people coming into the store all the time. Even just yesterday, I had people just walk in and say, "Hey, you get free hugs? Where's my hug?" And they'll just walk over and get a hug, and then they're like, "Okay, have a great day," and then they leave. And that's just me being love. That's them needing it and me providing it. And I think that's something that we need to kind of explore more. Just realizing that everybody is everyone. Like, it's very difficult for me to hold grudges. It's always been that way, but now that I have something to apply it to, it's like I'd be getting pissed off at myself.
Yeah.
And if someone does something to me, I don't immediately react. I think to myself, well, why did that happen? What actually happened? How would this person be feeling in order for this to happen? And what is my actual feelings towards that person for whatever reason they might have been to do this? So it's more cerebral. It's more thinking and feeling altogether what the whole situation is, rather than just being like, oh, you just totally, poked me with a pencil in the ribs and there's no reason for it and it really hurt and I'm gonna punch you now. Like,
well, I've had somebody stab me in the leg for no reason, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but for me, it's more of a there was a phrase that's been coming up every once in a while, like every couple of months, and that's a phrase from, I can't actually remember who said it, but it's an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. You guys have probably heard what that is. I don't remember who said that. It's either a Dalai Lama of one or the other, or it was the Buddha. I'm not sure.
For no reason.
Yeah.
And attacked it for no reason, threatened to be shot in the kneecaps for no reason. The list goes.
You're saying no reason, but no reason that you are aware of. Those people who did those things had a reason. They just didn't feel compelled to tell you what it was.
Yeah, they had a reason. It's because I was defending my little brother.
So their reasoning was that you were being aggressive, so they had to fight you. Maybe.
Because, no, they attacked me for no reason at all. That's what I'm saying. I had no, I did no actions whatsoever for them to even, be bringing these actions to themselves.
The way that I'm seeing it, though, is that they had their reasons. Maybe they've been, maybe they're in gangs, maybe they're aggressive, maybe they're just hating themselves and want to fight people. Like, there are reasons for people doing those things. Like I said, you're just not privy to the information. So on your side, you're like, whoa, no reason for that at all. I'm a good dude. Like, why'd you do that? But
I am a good dude. I've been punched in the face, had a few black eyes. I have, an absurd amount of scars upon my entire body, along with burns, along with scrapes, cuts, bruises. It's just a matter of perspective. Like, from my perspective, no, I did not view them because it was my perspective. I was coming into the room and they attacked me for no reason. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I understand where you're coming from. I totally do. But what I was getting at with the what I was saying was that to you there's no reason, but there is always a reason for things. You're just not always, given that information.
Everything happens for a reason. Yes, everything happens for a reason, but sometimes things happen for no reason at all. It's because of.
And where I am personally is if terrible things happen to me personally, which God is good. He hasn't allowed bad things to happen to me recently. When things happen like that, I have changed the way that I perceive them. I no longer perceive them as somebody deliberately injuring me. Sorry, what?
I am just discussing it with you. I perceive it in the same way.
I know. I wanted to get that out. Now I forget what I was talking about. Shoot. I find that if I say things out loud, they make more sense for my own self. And now I don't remember what I was talking about. What was I saying?
It's a matter of reaching that great. It's a matter of reaching the light and the dark and the light, the good and the evil and the good, the fire and the water and the fire. I know.
That's what I've learned for myself though recently is coming from a place of compassion and love and realizing, if I were to do that to somebody else, what would be my motivation? So I can understand why people do things, and I don't hold grudges against them for whatever it is that they've done. So that's why I think that was my point. That was my explanation. I just kept getting sidetracked.
That's good.
But that's a new thing. Like, that's not a thing that's like, I've been doing this forever. I have had a long history of not really holding grudges against people because someone once told
acting
me,
like this.
What?
I was saying this is something that is not from a book. This is something completely original. But if anybody else has something else to add to something that Shai and I have had to say, feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, pop up. Speak up. Speak out.
There are more people in the chat than just us two.
I know.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
I'm looking
it's
it.
good.
I'm looking here. But yeah, for myself personally, I recently, well, not recently, but after, I think it was 2009, someone said, if that person does something to you, is this really going to affect your life in 6 months? Is this going to matter in a year? And then when I thought about it that way, I was just like,
He's sitting in
there's so
prison.
much you can let go of, like, just so much. You can just be like, meh, it happened, I'm past it, you know, like, life's still good.
It's the other people he's still affecting. It's not just myself. It's the other people that are still being affected by his actions, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
What? Whose actions? What's going on?
I'm talking about the person that I was speaking of earlier. Like, his actions, they don't affect me, but they affect everyone else around me, and it's funny to observe it. I don't know, but I'll be right back.
All right. Who else is in here? We've got John.
I'm back.
Mark, Brendan, me, and Lee or Leah. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
I was not about to get into that argument with Andy.
Super. Oh,
I was not about to do it.
yeah, I was feeling extra energy to move furniture, so I left to move furniture. Okay, Leah, gotcha. Awesome. Yeah, so I moved some furniture. It was very strenuous and productive. I'm rearranging the spirituality and you shop downtown, and one of the pieces of furniture that my old roommate left when he moved out is actually perfect to fit in one section of it. So I moved it near the door so that it'll be easy to move it out of here whenever we can get everything renovated down there.
That's good.
Yeah, see, I put what I felt as frustration and challenges in dealing with certain people. I used it for something productive. I moved furniture.
Yeah. I pretty much did the same thing. I played a little bit of a video game, and now I'm back.
So speaking of cool stuff, maybe that has happened to you guys, like maybe even at the full moon or since the full moon. Has anything neato happened in your life that you kind of want to relate with everybody? Because I got something. If you guys want to add something first, because I talk a lot. I talk all day, and then I come on here on Sundays and I talk forever. So feel free.
Things that have happened since the full moon. Nope. Nothing.
That was last Tuesday, just, FYI, if you guys weren't aware. So
I was
Monday,
wondering
Tuesday,
that.
Wednesday. What's that, Mark?
I was wondering when the full moon was actually. I noticed it getting big a while ago and didn't know when the full moon was going to be.
It was a full moon in Leo too, so it was a hello.
Hey, just so y'all know, I am a Libra on the cusp of Virgo.
Shiny.
Libra.
Yep, Libra on the cusp of Virgo.
From my intuition, I'm going to say that makes some sense, but I can't give you a backup or logic on how that makes sense. But that does.
I was born on September 25th, so there you go.
Oh, right there in that. Okay, cool.
Right there.
I'm what I've referred to as a Taurian Gemini. I'm Gemini with Taurus as my moon in a sign.
My little brother's a Gemini, so is my sister. They were both born on the same day.
Oh yeah? Not the
June
same
15th.
year? They're not twins?
Not the same year, no.
Oh wow.
They're
Nice
both
planning.
born on the same day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I had okay. Well, if no one else is gonna go, I have some a cool story to tell you guys. Less than a month ago, one of my really good friends, her father passed away, and she was informed about 10 o'clock in the morning, and about 20 after 9, I remember that morning because I was getting ready to go to work, and I was fixing my dreads. I have dreadlocks, and I was fixing them, and I got those, those little, they're almost like little blue sparks that come into the center of your vision from the outside. It kind of flow. Okay, well I had that, right? So about 20 after 9 I had that, and I went to work and didn't really think anything of it because it happens sometimes when I have my arms above my head and I'm doing like my dreads and stuff. So it was, it was no big deal. I was like, oh, there we go again, kind of neato thing that happened. I was like, all right, whatever. And I went to work, and about noon or so, my friend came in, and she told me, my father passed away this morning, and my sister called me, and she said this, and this kind of just made us laugh, because she's like, about 9:20 this morning, I had these little blue shoots of electricity, like I could see them in my vision. So we both had the same experience at the same time. I didn't know why. She told me that when she got that, she knew that her father had passed away. And I was just like, whoa, I had the same thing happen at the same time, so maybe I was in tune with you. Like, that's pretty rad. And we were talking about connections, and I think that was the first time we actually spoke to each other, because we had sort of known each other a little bit through Brendan, but didn't really talk all that much. And since then, we have become like best friends, and it's super cool. Every time I'm in there, she's like, she comes in and we hang out, or I go to her place for dinner, or like we're like family now. And it's only been a couple of weeks.
I consider Brendan like family. I've known him for years now.
And this is so cool, because this story leads into the story that happened this week. And so what ended up happening is her father gave all of his kids an inheritance of a certain amount of money, and she had told me about this, but I didn't really think anything of it. And on Friday, I was at the shop, and I was hanging out with Brendan for a little bit while I was waiting for a bus. And Carolyn came in, and she's like, hey, I didn't really expect to see you here, but this is cool. And, we were talking about going into this bookshop that's I hadn't been to yet. And I was like, well, let's go right now. And she's like, it might be closed. I'm like, it won't be closed. If I've made the decision that we're going, it's going to be open, because I've just finally decided to go. So we went down, and it was open. And this was this was really cool, because we went in, and the vibe in there is basically, if you belong here, you're welcome to stay. If you don't belong here, it's time for you to leave. Like, the whole vibe in there, I was like, okay, I'm digging this place. I like this. It's very.
That happened to me at the place I went to the other day called Big Dog Daddy's.
I love the name.
Big Dog Daddy's. I know.
Awesome. So I'm standing in there, and we're talking to the lady that owns it, and I introduced myself to the cat, because there's a cat that lives in the store, and he left me hanging for a high five, put his paw out, and when I went to high five it, he pulled it back like, no. So that was funny. I was like, oh, bro, you left me hanging. So we laughed at that, but I'm a Christian druid, and I use the druid animal oracle cards when I do my divining and my scrying and messages and such. And they had
I actually am, but I can't.
The druid plant oracle was behind glass, behind the counter, and I went, oh my gosh, can I see that? And so she pulled it out, and I was looking at it, and I was like so stoked. I was like, this is perfect, because it's written by the same people who wrote the cards that I use, that the animal cards, and it's illustrated by the same person, and they're beautiful. And I was like, oh man, I gotta write this down, because I can't afford to buy it. And my friend went, yes, you can. And she pulled her wallet out, and she bought it for me, because she said, my friend Carolyn that I was telling you about.
Yes.
So I was like, what? Are you serious? She's like, it's not actually me buying it for you. It's my father, because he hated spirituality of any shape or form, and this is how we're gonna deal with this.
Person on the planet.
So she's like, so thank my dad for this. I was like, all right, thanks, Pops, you're so generous. But she's like, he'd be rolling in his grave if he knew that I was buying you druid plant oracle cards with this money. So I was like, well, that's neato.
You gotta understand just exactly what life is about. That's what I'm happy about.
Well, that's good. The cards, I actually have done quite a few readings with the cards since I got them on Friday, and it's really funny, because it's when I was saying before how I'm relying more on my intuition and trusting my intuition more. I keep pulling cards out for people, or I'm just shuffling the cards, and one random card will just pop right out and land right in front of them, and that's what I end up reading the meaning for it, and then we're both just like mind blown, and it's amazing. Like they're just all the messages that people are needing are just coming up, and it's really cool. I'm actually more in tuned with the plant oracles than I am with the animals right now. I was working with the animals for 10 years though, so maybe this is like my evolution. This is I've evolved into my second form. Who knows? But it's really cool because the messages that keep coming up to me are being reinforced tonight through the radio show and through conversations with random people who basically things are coming to me, and they're coming to me from the weirdest places. I was on the bus, and I do bus surfing because I can't actually do water surfing. My surfboard's up north. So I stand in the middle of the bus and don't hold on. I just put my hands in my pockets of my hoodie and just sort of like chill out there. And it's a bit of a challenge because some of the bus drivers here in London seem to think that they're in a go-kart and it's NASCAR. So it's like I'm getting a lot of leg exercise by standing in the middle of the bus. But I was standing there Friday and somebody started talking to me. And we were just talking about surfing and talking about nature, and spirituality came up, and we ended up just talking for like the whole bus ride till I had to get off the bus. And I made like 3 new friends over the weekend from that, just from people talking to me and just observing who I am and what kind of person I am. And I don't know, it was really neat. I'm getting a lot of really good vibes from being here, so I definitely know that I'm supposed to be in London.
Nice.
I still don't know what exactly my purpose is in being here, but I don't really care. I'm having a great time being me. My life is pretty rad. Ooh, a website. I'm checking it out, Leah. Oh my gosh, it's that picture again. I cannot get away from that Alex Gray chakra picture. It is all over my life. What the heck? We have it on the window of the store. We had it on the door. It showed up on... Yeah, you know what? Alex Gray is a wicked, wicked artist. One of my best friends that I've met on RuneScape, everyone can laugh now, he has Alex Gray artwork tattooed between his armpit and his knee on both sides of his body. And it is absolutely amazing. I'm just like, okay, straight up, that's badass, because you had to sit through a lot of ink, a lot of buzzing to get that done, like right across your rib cage too. Oh my gosh, that's ouch. That's some commitment to Alex Gray's art right there. I'm hearing a lot of bloops, but nothing's actually happening. I think that's John blooping at us.
It may or may not be me.
Bloop. Okay. Oh, your picture keeps popping up when there's like a silence and a bloop. So, you are the bloop.
The bloop.
I love your picture, by the way. That is really, really pretty.
Thank you.
What is that from? It looks like, I can't describe it any other way than a rainbow hug of awesomeness. And that's how I roll,
really,
so I'm really liking it.
Really, it was just a wallpaper that I had found on a wallpaper website, and I take no credit for the design. But I liked it, so I was like, you know what? I need to establish a new Google account anyway, so we're just going to use this one.
It's super.
And thus, it was used.
And thus it was done.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Google has this cool new thing now on Chrome where you can right-click any picture and you can search Google for it, and it'll find you all the sizes of that picture, and you can figure out the artist from it too. So I just did that right now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just discovered this about a month ago. Someone told me. And the other one was, if you have a picture on your computer that you maybe saved like 1 million years ago, you can drag it onto Google Images into the search thing, and it'll pop up all of the instances on the internet that they can find of that artwork.
Huh.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I had a painting to do, a custom painting to do for someone, and she gave me she gave me like a little thumbnail picture from Pinterest, and she's like, "Can you paint this for me in like 16 by 20 inches?" And I'm going,
What?
like you just gave me a stamp and asked me to paint a poster of it. I'm just like, I'm not sure if I can handle this. So when I discovered that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So doing that. So I got a larger version of it. It's pretty awesome.
That's always helpful.
What is going on? Oh, now I know where the bloops are coming from. That's random. Just gonna close that now. All right, cool. That's gone. It says, I think, that the artist of this is Stanley Lau. Stanley Lau? Lau? L-A-U. Anyway. That's what I'm finding for this picture. Wow. That's cool. I'm definitely gonna see if I can find a bigger version of this. Oh. Cool. Angel of something or other. I can't really tell. Angel of Colors? Yeah, cool. Alright. I'm going to find this, because I want a big version of it too. So what's going on with you guys then? If you have no fancy magical stuff to talk about, what good stuff's happening in your life these days?
I'm currently switching schools, which is fun.
Are you switching because you're switching programs, or because of a different reason?
Both. Both.
Alrighty, you can elaborate. It's okay.
I'm fixing to. I'm getting to that point.
Alrighty.
So essentially, right now I'm going to the Art Institute of Seattle, which is kind of a fun thing. But at the same time, I have a 3-hour commute on the way home, which is not fun.
Unfun.
And so, because of this, and this me not enjoying the school, I'm switching to become, which is my backup program, a surgical technologist. So I get to do all the medical stuff.
Cool. That is so cool.
That's what I'm in the process of doing.
That is really neat, actually. Yeah. Changing stuff like that, like you come to the realization that what you're doing is not what you want to be doing, right? You're just like, this is,
essentially.
Yeah. There's a guy that I met yesterday actually came into the store, and he walked in, and when you go into a spirituality store and there's crystals and candles and incense and, doohickeys and books and stuff, sometimes if you're not into that sort of thing, you walk in like, what is all this BS mumbo jumbo, right? Well, that's the vibe this guy gave off when he came in, and he's like, so what's this thing about crystals? How do those work? And I could tell he was like expecting some mystical, mumbo jumbo, and I was like, well, all of Earth and all of the rocks that come out of the Earth vibrate at a different frequency, so they affect different parts of the energy in your body because they contain energy themselves. And he just stopped dead, and he went, oh, well, that makes sense. Like, I surprised him. And he was like, well, that does make sense, because, like, I was standing outside the store, and I've never seen it before, and then I got this tingle, and all the hair on my legs went up, like, I got goosebumps. I'm like, yes, that's awesome. He's like, you got that tingle, and you had to come in, and you had to talk about this kind of stuff. He ended up staying there for 45 minutes, and we were talking about everything. We talked about science and magic and aliens and earth energies and different cultures, mythologies, and Christianity. Like, it was all over the board. And he was just saying how he's like, yeah, I was going to school and I was taking this computer sciences thing, and I realized that was BS, and I didn't want to do that anymore, and it wasn't bringing me anywhere happy, and I just felt miserable, and I hated it. And so now I decided that I want to look into how did he put it? He was looking into the different ways that plants and chemicals and natural things in the world change our body chemistry and how we think. He's like, so I'm getting into neuroscience now. I changed what I was doing. I was like, that is so cool. It's just like, that is so cool that people don't realize all the time that you can change what you're doing. You don't always have to be doing the same thing. If you hate what you're doing, or if it doesn't make you happy, Yeah, exactly. You're trapped in your reality, and and you're manifesting your own hell. You're just like, oh, I'm stuck here forever. It's never gonna change. Well, it's because you're not changing it. If you're like, you know what? Screw this noise. I am out of here, and then you do something else that does make you happy. That's what I was. Got it. Okay. But that's what you do. You change your reality. That's something that I've used it as my email signature for years. It's like you create your own reality. Create one that you love.
Yeah, that's basically something I go with. I just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah. That's another thing that I've learned how to do instead of that what I was talking about earlier, and someone acts towards you and you react without thinking. But now it's going with the flow and just realizing that life's gonna happen to you. You just gotta. It's your choice how you're gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
That's it. If you choose to hold on to it and get all stressed out and wig out and have your hair fall out and get all sweaty and your eyes bug out of your head, it's like that's your choice. That's your choice to turn yourself into some crazy mutant muppet. But
Yeah.
if you don't want to do that, if you realize, you know what, this is temporary. This is not gonna ruin my entire life unless I let it.
Yeah, I feel it. That's basically what I've been doing for the past 8 years.
Awesome.
Yeah, 8 years. Just kind of go with the flow and see where it takes me.
Yeah, going with the flow is something that I thought I was getting pretty good at it, and now the flow is going somewhere where I'm not
Anticipating.
familiar with it, and and I wasn't anticipating it. Now I'm just like, is this where it's supposed to be flowing? Like I'm thinking, like I don't like all this doubt and stuff that I've got going on now, because this didn't happen before, and now I'm like, oh, well, I'm worried. Well, what if this? And like, wait a minute, stop thinking like that. Those are old habits. You don't have to get stuck in those old patterns because that's what you're used to. So now it's like, okay, this flow is taking me in a weird position, so trying to deal with that these
Well,
days.
sometimes there's a difference between like going with the flow and then like making your own flow.
That is true.
Because like what we were talking about earlier with as far as like shifting your reality, that's changing your own flow. That in itself is changing the flow to somewhere you want to go.
Well, that's the thing is I'm not entirely sure that's where I want to go. So it's like it involves other people. So I'm like, do I want to go towards these people or do I want to just go beside these people? So it's like where am I going here now? So this is the doubt that I've got happening. It's just like, is this what's supposed to happen, or is this just because it seems like it's supposed to happen, but it's not really? And I don't like thinking like that. So I definitely have to like pray about it or meditate. I'm not sure.
Yeah, really all I do is just kind of do I want to put I think and say do I want to put myself in the position of regret? If I don't, then I'll just kind of change the flow a little bit and see where it takes me, and then just kind of work my way around, you know?
Mhm. Hmm.
'Cause-
Yeah, this is definitely something that like the radio show tonight was like I said earlier, it was like a cosmic clue by four. It's just like kind of smacking me upside the head, going, "Pay attention to this. This is what we're trying to tell you for a week." And I'm just like, I don't want to listen. Angry over
well,
emojis.
yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Being in college, yeah, it's like you need to pay attention to this because it's going to be possibly useful later. So,
This is on the test later. You need to pay attention. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, I've only had 2 hours of sleep, and you know, I don't want to.
I don't wanna. That
I
makes
can
so much
study it
sense.
later, I swear.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, for as far as studying goes, they say that if you read something and then take a nap, you'll actually remember it a lot better than if you like
I
cram and
try.
then go in with no sleep.
I try that, but the problem with me is if when my body at this point when my body is trying to get sleep, it won't get like the normal human amount of sleep. It'll get like 12 hours worth of sleep. Like one time after coming home from my week and like actually getting 2 days off in a row, my weekend essentially. In those from the moment I came home to the next day, it was 31 hours and 2 days of sleep.
Holy cow.
Yeah, like I woke up, I was like, what day is it?
Wow. I get that when I sleep for 20 minutes. It feels like I've been sleeping for 24 hours. And it's quite frustrating. What is that like? Hi, Jimmy. But yeah, you go lay down. You're like, all right, guys, I'm just gonna lay down for
Yeah,
you know
I
for the
got 20
night.
minutes.
And it's
I'll
like,
take a small
oh
little
man,
nap, and you wake up and it's like
you feel super
20 hours
refreshed. Like,
later.
oh, I've been sleeping forever. It's great. I'm so rejuvenated for the day. And you look outside and it's still nighttime. You're like, wait a minute, what?
What?
Like, oh, now I'm completely awake for the rest of the night. And so you end up like
Yup.
baking all of the things and moving your furniture around and painting the walls and vacuuming. It's like, I
Yeah.
gotta get this out somehow. Like, I've actually been trying to write a song, so I'm learning how to play my ukulele, not completely terribly, and so far not successful. It's still pretty terrible, but that's because I'm playing upside down. I don't like things to be easy. I don't like to make things easy for myself. So clearly I'm already, making this situation difficult that I'm trying to figure out for myself. But as an example, like I said, I'm playing my ukulele upside down. I'm a chef, and I cut the ends of my fingers, two of my fingertips. So when I push onto the strings, it's, oh my God, Jimmy, whoa. Sorry, it echoes really, really badly when you try to talk or when your microphone's not muted. When I push on the strings, it basically pushes the strings into my bones on the ends of my fingers.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
No, no, thank you.
So I just turn it upside down. So I tuned my ukulele actually normally, except that I flipped it. So it's still, from the top down, it's still, was it G, C, E, A? But I play it. So if somebody tries to play my ukulele, they're not going to get the right notes. Because they're gonna try to play it normally with your left hand on the strings, but that's something that I'm trying to do too. And music is not something that I've been involved with for about a decade. So I'm getting all this creativity from God everywhere, and it's like I'm trying to do everything but what I should be doing.
Yeah.
Anyone else
get
getting
that.
that these days?
No, I get that. I mean, that's how it is with art right now. Because normally, like, you'll go in to like college, and like you'll have a teacher slash professor just kind of sit up there and lecture for the entire period. Well, the issue I'm having is at my school, none of the teachers lecture.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's
you're not used to the way they do things? Is that what you mean?
kinda.
Okay. So explain it. Is it like you're expecting them to do it a certain way and they're not doing it that way, so you're not really sure how to deal with it?
It's more or less like you try to understand the concept of, let's say, what a playful design is, but the teacher doesn't lecture about what exactly a playful design is and expects you to learn it on your own. But when you go
Oh.
to,
Okay.
yeah, you get what I'm saying now.
Yeah, it's like life.
Yeah.
Like everyone expects you to already know what the hell's going on, and you're just like, I'm just over here like
right.
I like crayons. So
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, I understand that. It's been it's been the same with, like, for me for art, because I'm an artist. I paint, but for the past month and a half, I've been not motivated to paint at all. Like, I'll be like, I want to paint today, and then I'll give my dog a bath and like clean my entire house and wash every dish I own and do laundry instead of painting. And then the next day I'll like hang out with friends all day long or just take a walk around downtown for like 6 hours. And it's like, I want to be painting. I want to have more artwork done, but I don't do it.
Just don't have the motivation.
Yeah, I'll sit down and be like, I would rather read about like druid practices with the goddess than paint a painting right now. So what I'm trying to do is messages that come to me, or when I feel like I want to paint, I'll be like, I'll sit down and think about what it is I want to be doing instead of painting, and I think I'm going to paint that.
Yeah, that'll work.
You'd be like, you know what? I want to learn about the goddess. Well, how about I paint the goddess? Maybe that'll work. You know,
Yeah, I get that.
I want to be going out and hanging with friends, so I'll paint something that represents my friends. I think I'm going to get back into painting that way. Just change the way that I kind of approach it.
That sounds like a perfectly suitable solution to me.
Cool beans. Glad to have that affirmation. Thanks.
I mean, for me, it's like I know I need to do schoolwork, but at the same time, I have plenty of time tomorrow to do it.
Yeah, it was. You know what? That actually came up this weekend. It was self-talk. Telling yourself I should do this essentially gives you an order, and when it's an order, you're like, yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yep.
I'm not going to do that now because I should do it. But if you change it to I will do it, or I want to do this, and you affirm to yourself that it is a thing that you physically want to do or you mentally want to do, and it will be done, that helps to get it done, because you actually say it out loud and you're like, wait, do I want to do that? Yeah, I do. And then you go do it, and then life is good because you've made a decision to the positive.
Yeah, I'll try that next time.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
It's all in how you speak to yourself. It's not so much in speaking to other people, because we talk to people all the time, right? We talk to other people and tell people the things that we want to do. But if it comes down to actually doing those things, it's more of a, well, I need to convince myself that I want to do these things. So you talk to yourself the same way that you would talk to a child, I think is a good way of putting it. It's like, you gotta convince them that they want to do a thing. Like, you really want to pick up your toys, right? Like, no. Well, you really want to pick up your toys if you're gonna get a cookie. So, cookies are a great motivator. So motivate yourself with a cookie. I don't know. I don't know where that one went. It just sort of wandered.
Cookies truly are, like, the best thing.
Yes, Brendan, that is a cool idea. I'm cool with that.
It is only 10:55 here. Yeah.
Alrighty, I guess I'm just gonna, from all of us, everybody just say goodbye to everyone listening. Thanks to the internets for listening to our rambling and assorted conversating, and see you in the future.
Thanks for being you guys. It was good listening to this and whatnot and being a part of it. See you next time.
Oh, yeah.